But here we go. Here we go. Today we start Fast and Furious. I'm with a white t-shirt I noticed right now. And this t-shirt I was thinking of changing it, but I didn't. So, whatever. It doesn't matter. The t-shirt doesn't matter, by the way. What matters is that this t-shirt particularly, I don't know why, but it smells. It smells under the armpits, which is not a very pleasant experience, but it doesn't smell like all the time. So only in certain positions of the head it smells. So yeah, hopefully it will be fine for me, this stream. Yeah, so let's see now what's happening here. We have huge eyebrow ridges with something here. We have, okay, we have the nose, big nose in the front, symmetrize. Yep, I will do this quickly. I will try to do this bust kind of quick, and then to go and make Artstation reviews, because I promised yesterday on the yesterday's stream that we will do something relatively simpler today. This is not ultra simple, but since I will do it quickly, hopefully it's not the worst. So I noticed, by the way, I listened to yesterday's stream and I noticed that some of my my keyboard is making this strange squeaking sound. One of the keyboards, one of the keys, which is the shift, I think. No, it's not the shift. I don't know which key exactly is making it. Oh yes, it's the alt, I think. No, it's not the alt. I'll have to see which one is making it and spray something to it. Z? No. Ah, the alt is making it, okay. This alt is squeaky today. Or yesterday also. I don't like it, but we cannot do anything about it since the alt is crucial for our survival in Blender. We cannot do without it, so it's fine. Or at least should be fine. If it's not fine for you, you always can dial down the sound or something similar to not hear this squeaking sound. And I'm starting to hear it more and more when I pay attention to it. So yeah, the goal is to not pay attention to those kind of things. So let's talk about something else probably. Yeah, yesterday I had a comment on my stream about Israel and Palestine conflict that I didn't want to comment about it, but I said that both sides are bad because they are killing innocent people. And some guy was furious about it in the comments. He said, no, Israel is bad, you don't know, stuff like this. How can you say both things are bad? Yeah, it's true, I cannot say, but I said it. It's about opinions, you know. My opinion is not like your opinion is not like my opinion, which is absolutely normal. We cannot have the same opinion, and forcing opinion to other people is sometimes causing bad things, like wars, for example. Why not? Not only the opinion, of course, but the idea is that everybody has some opinion. And for example, if, let's say, theoretically, Australia comes to my country, Australia comes from the other side of the earth to my country and start killing Australian military, start killing my country's civil people, and they kill some of my relatives, for example, I will be furious and I will say Australia is the worst and they have to be killed or whatever. You know, I will be exactly like some of those guys who want, you know, to make war, you know, because war came to them and it just happens. They didn't want it. It was brought to them. They just want to continue it because they have relatives, family who died, for example. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but yeah, whatever. Let's talk about something else. What? Let's see in the chat. I hear an echo of your voice in the meeting. Yes, you hear, because I haven't stopped my YouTube yeah, it's normal to hear it. Now you don't hear the echo anymore. I'm sorry about the echo. So yeah, echo also is about opinion. You may hear echo, this is your opinion. But my opinion is that you don't hear echo anymore, so I don't know who is right. Nobody knows. This is all about opinions. Opinions. And we may say opinions are like assholes, but we will not say that because we say it all the time, so it's not relevant anymore. It's dry out, we may say, this joke that opinions are like assholes because everybody has one. It's just, you know. But you hear the squeaking, right? And that's not opinionistic. That's definitely the case. Sometimes when I press the Alt key, it's squeaking. Yeah, it's amazing how good it is. The Alt key squeaking. I don't know if I will be super fast with this boost. As we can see, 6 minutes and I still cannot kinda make it relatively fine to look relatively good. It's not looking good. That's what I'm trying to say. But we'll see. There is time. There is a little bit more time. We have to be able to do it for less than an hour. And if we can do it, then we are fine. Now let's make the eyes. Let's make the eyes. Upper eyelid. Not too many people watching today, I see. But I didn't wait too much to start the stream anyways. So I didn't give time for the people to tune in. Yesterday I gave them time. I gave you time, guys. Today I don't. I just wanted to start streaming right away. And many people ask me, how do you deal with depression and anxiety and those kind of things? I deal by making streams. When I feel anxious or I feel depressed, I just do a stream and it cheers me up a little bit. So for me, this formula is not gonna work for everybody because everybody can do a stream, actually. Probably, everybody can do a stream, but not everybody will get viewers, and that's a problem. That's a problem because if you don't get viewers, you will eventually stop making streams because you will say it's useless. So that's not for everyone, unfortunately. Okay, let's make the beard, which will be this sphere. And many people will ask, but Nico, how can this sphere be a beard? It's just a sphere. What are you talking about? Are you crazy, Nico? Are you getting crazy with this? You are famous now and you are getting just crazy. Yes, they are right. I'm getting crazy. Probably this couldn't be a beard, but we'll see. Let's see what we can do and we'll see. Maybe I'm getting crazy, but am I? We don't know about that. Alright, so we have something like relatively something like beard, we may say. I'm pushing the other things, and we are back with the beard. Back with the beard. How many objects needs to be in portfolio for applying to job? In my opinion, 3 are enough if they are good. If they are bad, even 100 will not do. So try to have at least 3 things, but very good in your portfolio, and then apply for a job. If you have more to fill up the space, I don't know if it's bad. Probably it's bad to have too much things, especially not good enough things. You don't need to justify your opinion. It's just a channel about art. People need to keep their politics to themselves. That also can be said about me. To keep my politics to myself. Absolutely. Because, you know, I, as a relatively public person, I am saying some opinions about some public things. Because I'm speaking a lot. When I speak a lot, I can say some stupid things. That's absolutely normal and it happens. But, as I said, not all people are thinking the same things. And I don't think my opinion is the right and the only righteous opinion in the world. For everybody, their opinion probably is the right one. For me, especially when I don't have enough information, and I said it in the Palestine-Israeli conflict, I don't have enough information and I cannot take side too much, especially in that conflict. When I said that both sides are bad, and people are like, whoa, how can you say that? Israeli are bad? And the other people will say, but how can you say that? Palestine is bad? But when there is war, and one side is killing innocent people, the other side is killing innocent people, and by innocent I mean not people who are paid to do war, not soldiers, innocent people, that's what I'm saying. And as I understand, in this conflict, both sides are killing innocent people. Who started it? It's not such relevant thing right now. That's why I'm saying both sides are bad. If you want to, you know, some other opinion, it's you have a right to do so. You know, you have the right to have whatever opinion you want. Especially when you are from Palestine or from Israel, it's pretty difficult to not take a side, you know. But for me, it's easy to not take a side. I just don't take a side, and that's it. I'm not required to do so. Okay, it doesn't look quite like the concept, but hopefully with the hair that we will put right now, it will start to look. And again, people will say, but Nico, isn't this just a sphere? Why do you say it's a hair? Exactly. It's exactly that. It's a sphere, but hopefully in a couple of minutes, it will look somehow like a hair a little bit. Probably not too much, unfortunately, but kind of. I'm just hoping. And that's hopes, you know, hopes and expectations. We all have them. Yeah. You being consistent now, very good. I don't know about consistency. I'm not famous of being super consistent, by the way. But this is just for the personal life. Maybe for my professional life, I'm more consistent. Who knows? Who knows? For some things, I don't know. Yeah, usually, when you are a person, you think about yourself as sometimes as an instinct of self-preservation. You think about yourself as a better person than actually you are. Sometimes this is just for preservation instinct, you know, to kind of keep yourself from crashing or whatever. You think, I'm a good person, I'm a nice guy, I'm okay, you know, I'm doing nice things. And you do nice things just to feel better. You give, you know, food for the poor or money for the poor people on the street and those kind of things for you to feel better for yourself, of yourself, you know, to feel better in your skin. Usually, probably there are people who are not doing it for that, but many people are doing it exactly for that, which, I don't know, the end result is the same. You gave a person something, you know, money or food, which is great. But why are you doing it? For yourself, most likely. But as I say, it's not absolute true. This is my truth, and you don't have to be agreeing with it, because your truth can be completely different. And probably it's a good thing that, and it should be different. What am I doing now? I'm making sure that the hair looks a little bit more lively. The livelihood of the hair, I'm taking care of that. It's, yeah, you will see. It will look ultra cool at the end. No, it will not look better than now. This is the coolest that it will look, probably. We will just put some color on it, and that's it about the hair. I don't know. This doesn't look like Tony Stark exactly. My version. The version, this one, the concept is looking... It's looking kind of like Tony Stark, I would say. As something like a caricature of him, which is great. My version is not so much. But yeah, it is what it is. We cannot do it, obviously. That's the only reason it doesn't look quite like him, because I cannot do it. Otherwise, it would look like him, right? If I could, but I can't. Nico, is there a quicker free way to retopologize the models without manual retopology? Yes, I show it in my other video, my previous video from yesterday. Hey Nico, thank you for your work, man. You've inspired me a bunch and I've learned a lot from you. Keep it up, bro. Thank you. I'm from Israel and we are the good side in the war. Yes, of course you are. And if you ask some Russians, probably they will say they are the good side of the war. And that's it, you know. That's always the case. Everybody is having the opinion that suits them better. Yeah. Nico, do you play Stalker game? It's a Russian FPS game. Let's say Stalker is Ukrainian game, for example. Let's try to be a little bit more precise. And yes, I have played it back in the days. Now one of my friends is playing it a lot with some very nice add-ons, or I don't know what to call them. Yeah, people are making some additions to the game, very nice ones. Mods, yeah, we may say mods, but they are overhauling the whole game. And this game, Stalker, is pretty old. It's more than 10 years old, but with current mods, it's pretty nice, although it's kind of more like survival game, as I heard, and probably a little bit difficult for some people. And I would not play it because it requires a lot of time, and I don't have that time. Especially when you have family, you have to spend the time mostly for your family and for your work to make money. So money and family, that's the only thing. And games are a little bit going away. Not so many games are played, in my case, anymore, any longer. Palestine have two groups, Hamas and Fatah. Fatah like discussion, but Hamas not. How many polygons had blue guy you sculpted? The blue guy had, I think at the end, the sculpting was having like 30 million polygons or something, I'm not sure. Around 30 million. Nico for president. For president of what? Of the earth? Hello, Nico. You know, I'm thinking like I'm thinking now, and you hear how I think and what are my thoughts of the world and everything about it. But if I get power, you know, power corrupts, and this is not just saying, it's just how it is. So if somehow I get some power, I will change. So it's not a good idea, you know. Power is not something to play with. It changes people, and absolute power corrupts Absolutely. That's why the biggest world leaders, if they stay leaders for a long time, they become dictators, usually. And that's why in the best democracies of the world, leaders usually change in a couple of years. Because that's how it's supposed to be, in my opinion at least. Maybe I can be a president of the world for a couple of months, not more. Otherwise, I will get corrupted, and it will not be good. Everybody thinks that at some point maybe they are the only ones that can make a difference in this world, and they say, okay, I have to keep the absolute power to myself so I can do the absolute good for my people. I'm sure that President Putin is this kind of guy. He has said, okay, I have to keep the absolute power, I have to keep becoming a president, I have to be a president forever, so I can be remembered as the best guy in the Russian history. Which, at this point, I don't think will be true. But who knows? Maybe if he stops the war and, helps to rebuild Ukraine. But how will he return all the lives that were lost? I don't know. It will be difficult, probably impossible. But he can try, at least. And at least he can be better than Hitler for trying. Now, he's not much better. At least in the eyes of some of the world. Maybe not most of the world, unfortunately. But, as I said, opinions. Ooh. I'm hearing somebody scream a lot from outside of, again. Ало. Вкъщи. Стримвам. Трудно. Заключено е. Защо искаш да се прибереш? Аз стримвам. Хубаво, айде после, след час и нещо се прибери. Хубаво, айде. Okay guys, I have to unlock the door, so yeah, a couple of seconds and I'll be back. Okay, 22 minutes and we are having a good hit. Maybe we can, finish with the head now and just color it and continue with something else. This is a little bit brown, but we don't care. It's fine. A little bit too brown, yeah, definitely. A little bit too brown. Let's go and make some things more natural color or color. Yeah. How often and when you remesh while sculpting? When I feel like it's need to remesh, What part of muscle of male face determine mostly how old guy gonna looks like? No muscle is determining that. Skin and fat, which are sagging, that is determining your age mostly. No muscles. No muscles are doing that. Okay. It's starting to look good. Of course, it's just good from outside. From afar, we may say. So now let me just make the upper eyelid, which will be with this kind of color a little bit darker. The eyelashes, I mean, these are the upper eyelashes. then white for this, and then some blackish, and then some white. Yeah, it's interesting. It doesn't look quite like our guy, but it's cool. It's interesting for me. Why is this guy screaming from outside? You cannot hear him. I hear him very, very a little bit, but it's bugging me why somebody's screaming like that. You know, when somebody's screaming like that in our neighborhood, there should be something not nice. Nobody's screaming like that for just no reason at all. World War 3? No. Hopefully it's not that. Alright, so we continue with the body. Now this sphere will be his neck armor. This sphere will be his yellow armor. This sphere, oops, no. This sphere will be his shoulder armor. And we'll see about the rest. Let's continue. Do you go to gym? No. I don't go to gym. Why? Because I'm lazy to go to the gym, and I am just training at home and in the outside. I'm training, we may say. I'm doing push-ups, pull-ups, and that's it mostly. Sometimes squats with my own weight. Not too many things, we may say. Which is the shortcut to switch between objects when we are sculpting? That's very interesting. I have to do a video about this particular question. Which is the shortcut when to switch objects when you are sculpting? You know, because so many people are asking this question. This question is very popular, so I may want to do a separate video about it. It will be a very successful video, and it will be a video about 5 seconds long or 6 seconds, something like this. It's Alt Q, but probably somebody already told you. Nico, are you tired of Marvel movies too? No, I haven't watched a Marvel movie in a while. Definitely haven't. So I'm not tired of them. The last one I watched was... I'm not sure even what it was. Haven't watched too many. Привет, хорошего стрима. Thank you. Wait a little bit. Yeah, you know, the stream is live, so unexpected things can happen. And this is not super unexpected. I had to speak with my son because he was home and I had to see what's happening. He just left. That's why I had to, you know, chase him and see what happens. He wanted just to sleep in some friend. So that should be okay. Unless they're doing too much drugs. Then probably it's not completely okay. But what can I do about it? Nothing. So it's fine. Let them do the drugs. And you know, when you cannot do anything about certain things, whatever they are, you just don't have to worry about it. Oh, again he's calling me. I don't know why. Кажи бързо. Добре, айде. I have to open the door for him downstairs because it's closed from inside. Okay, well, today's stream is strange with so much hiccups. Not so many. But as I said, if you cannot change something, if something is out of your control, you don't worry about it and that's it. For example, him, my son, taking drugs is not exactly in my control. What I'm doing is I'm talking about the drugs with him. I am showing him videos about people who had the problems with drugs and those kind of things which are in my control. I'm doing, yes, but I cannot exactly control what he's doing in his free time. I can, of course, close him inside the house and not let him go out, which probably will be the worst thing. So yeah, I'm not doing that yet. I have done that actually, but when he was smaller. Now, I don't know. It will not be the case. Nico, I have a doubt. While sculpting female characters, why some artists sculpt the back feet in lifted pose? Any reason for that? Yeah, because it looks more sexy. The legs looks higher or taller. That's why probably they are doing that, most likely. And I did that in my female anatomy course too, so sorry. Sorry about that. It's my fault also. Maybe they're sculpting them like this because I did it in my female anatomy course, and all the artists nowadays have learned how to sculpt female from my anatomy course, female anatomy course, and that's why they're doing them like this, because I told them to. So it's my fault, I know everything is my fault these days. Maybe not exactly the Israeli-Palestine conflict, but who knows? Maybe, somehow, I did it too. Hopefully, this is not exactly true. I'm really hoping it's not true, because all these wars and conflicts that are going around the world, they haven't stopped ever. There are always conflicts somewhere in the world, but when they are close to you, then you're realizing it, and it started to get a little bit awful. You're starting to think about those things. For example, it maybe sounds very harsh, but most of you will, probably know themselves in this. But when there are conflicts in, let's say in Africa, for example, they're very far away from me. So and also our news, they are not saying too much about those conflicts, because not United States or Russia are, completely in those conflicts. They probably are, but proxy-wise. But when the conflict is close up to our borders, then it started to get a little bit different. Yes. But that's life again. I told you, we are all kind of selfish people. We are thinking about our own skin mostly than anything. So that's why this happens. Wow, I cannot understand. Oops, yes, okay, come on, no. Alright. But yeah, it is what it is. And maybe some of you will say, but Nico, you are wrong. And that's completely okay, I could be wrong. But I'm right. I'm right. As always, I'm right. For myself. I'm right for myself. You're right for yourself. And if you are angry with some of my sayings, remember, I'm just a guy sitting in his chair, a lonely guy who has a family, but now my wife is at work. My children, one is somewhere to play, the other one is at the kindergarten. So I'm just lonely and I'm making a stream and speaking some stuff. If you pay attention too much to this stuff, then you have some issue with especially the political stuff, because if you pay attention to my art stuff that I'm talking about, I am, we may say, an expert on some of the art stuff, which are the character art stuff. But if you pay attention to the political stuff and you're getting angry about that, and you make your life mission to destroy me because I've said something political, then you have a problem. You have a pretty huge issue in your... You have a pretty huge issue, yes. So be careful. Be careful with that. 114 people watching, which is good. We have a big player base, we may say, or watch base. Bigger than ZBrush Central, always. But since I'm doing mostly Blender these days, it's not exactly something to... it's obvious why. Because Blender has far bigger reach than ZBrush. Much more people are using Blender than ZBrush. At least that's my understanding of the things. Okay, this is this red. This is the red. And we are almost ready, by the way. Let's do this yellow-ish. And some of it, let's do it gray. Gray matters. You know, when I did the head only, it was not looking super ultra nice or everything, but when I did this quick body, because it's pretty quick, I did it pretty quickly, it's starting to get nicer, starting to look much nicer with this body. So yeah, when you do some kind of concepts, just try a little bit more. Don't do just the head, but do some of the other things and probably it will be better. And you see, I'm doing this for, let's say, 40 minutes now, almost 40. It's not exactly 40 minutes, with some hiccups, with some, you know, interventions. And still I was able to do something that resembles a character, a bust of a character. So you can spend a little bit more time, maybe, because rarely people are faster than me. I haven't seen a faster person than me with the 3D, but probably there is. I'm sure there are people. They just don't have YouTube channels, probably. They just work and make money, which is great. I don't know why I'm not doing that, but making a YouTube channel. But yeah, probably because there is not enough work for a fast person like me. Not enough work. I can do the work very fast and people cannot suffice my need of work. So yeah, let's see. This will be gray. Most of it. No, most of it will be gray. Those little legs. Do you see the little legs below? Let's make them legs. Amazing. And little hands. why not? We can do everything. Everything that we want. So legs and arms. But little ones. But if we look at him like this, it looks like a nice, just a bust. So let's leave him like this. The idea was to just do something quick, just to speak some bullshit, as I did. Now I will answer some questions fast. This is 40 minutes sculpt, so 40 minutes it is, it's fine. For 40 minutes we got this far. I think it's good enough for 40 minutes, and let's continue. Nico, I'm asking this question for third time and you don't see it. Yes. Is there a good way to create a low poly of model without manual retopology? Yes, I told you. Look at the last video. It should be cost cheaper or free. It's not cost cheaper or free, so probably there is not cost cheaper or free way. If you consider this add-on that I'm using in my latest video from yesterday a cheap one, so yeah, maybe when no one supply them gun and ammunition, they will stop. But gun and ammunition trade in the world is one of the biggest businesses. If you remember the I think God of War, not God of War. With Nicolas Cage there was a movie, but was it God of War? I'm not sure. So the guy was selling ammunitions to the friends and enemies of United States with the United States government permission, because it was a good money, you know. So yeah, how do you find concept for courses? For my courses, I find concept from Artstation or from Pinterest, just something that I like, and I collect them in some kind of a folder. I knew I seen the reference photo before. I follow the guy on Artstation. Good luck with the 3D model friend. Yeah, the guy's name is in the description of this video, as my courses. Links in the description of the video. You can see my courses in Artstation. You can buy them if you want to support me. Nico always speaks stuff that's okay for me since ZBrush courses. Yes. How do you find concept for your courses? Yes. Do you watch the Blender presentation a few days ago? No. This material makes everything grayish. Does Blender have something like ZBrush skin shades? Is gray? I don't know. This gray in the back, I don't know. We can always go to something like a render window or whatever. It's not a big issue. We can go to shadow. And let's increase the shadow, for example, just a little shadow. We can go to cavity and get both cavities, play with the cavity a little bit. It's too much. The cavity is too much, I think. But yeah, it's not a problem. Press R and hold to select how much dense the mesh will be. Usually just press R, don't hold too much. Lord of War here, Lord of War. What do you think about layoffs in the industry? I'm worried about trying to get a job when this is happening. Do you think it will get better? Probably. Layoffs are going on in all the IT sector, in the IT industry. This year, maybe next year. I'm hoping 2005 will be better. 2025, I mean, will be better. But nobody can say if 2005 will be a better year or 2004 will be a better year. Most likely 2024 will be worst year than this year, which is unfortunate. But there is always, like in economics, there is always downfall, and then there's ups couple of years, and then downfall, and then ups for some years, and then downfall, and that's how they move. So we're now in the hole. Hello, you see this question, will you create a tutorial of hair cards? No, probably never, but never say never, we'll see. But for now, no. Do you have ideas for doing clothing? No. Clothing for animation characters. No, I just do them. They're hard to make, of course. Nico, I meant the gray aspect in the colors code the base is not white. The base, because the base is not white. This is about materials, you know, matte cap. If I choose a different matte cap, which is more white, for example, it may be more white, and this, you can choose different white matte cap and just choose your appearance. It could be more like this or like this. It could be even a studio light with some kind of rotation of the light itself. There are different things that can be done, you know, like this, for example, is more like white base. So everything can be done. It's not just written in stone and that's it. But I'm working with this grayish material with a matte cap because in sculpting it just makes it better to see the overall shapes. Now when I'm finishing the model, it's not finished, of course. This is far from finished. If I have to finish this, I have to spend a couple more hours. So I did this for 40 minutes, but this is just a base, just something to see the overall forms and shapes better. And this is enough for you to see the concept overall, how I did it. It's just fast and furious. That's it. AI will be able to overcome 3D artists. So AI now is overcoming the 2D artists. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen too much layoffs of 2D artists because of the AI. If you want to stay afloat in the industry, usually you'll have to approach the AI as a tool and get it to work with you. So if you're a 3D artist, when the 3D art AIs appear, because now they are pretty bad still, when they appear you have to just jump and start working with them. So they will make your work faster, much faster. Now the work of the 2D artist with the current AIs is much faster. For example, the 2D artist has to make some assets for a game. They are cartoon animals, for example. And he's using Midjourney. He's saying to the Midjourney, I want a cartoon tiger in this style and this something. And Midjourney is spitting some images. He's liking some of them, he's taking one of them, and he's putting it in Photoshop. He's moving some things, he's drawing some things over, and in just a couple of days, he's doing the work that usually it will take him months, or 1 month at least. So he's doing the job, let's say 10 times faster because of the AI, but you need the artist still. And for the 3D, it's much more, the work is, 2D, there are not much more, but yeah, much more people know Photoshop than know Blender or other 3D software. So when it's about 3D, it's much more specialized. So if you have an AI which can make okay 3D models, high polys for example, then you need a person to kind of tweak the things, to have the knowledge how to change things. For example, you have scans these days, you have this meta-human things, you have all those things, you have DAZ 3D humans, but still, who operates those programs? Who is doing the work, actual work, is a person who knows. They will never hire somebody who has not super huge understanding of anatomy to clean 3D scans. In order to clean 3D scans, you have to be a very good character artist. Of course, this is a completely crap job, cleaning 3D scans for games, for example. But if it's well paid, probably it's worth it. I don't know. Hi, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. It's easy to understand from you. When I make them from other tutorials, it looks like it doesn't look good. Please consider a haircuts course. We just need to adapt. Yes. I hope the layoffs will stop before the AI take over. Nico, do you draw the concept by your own for your courses? Never, and I always mention the concept artist for my courses in the description of the course usually. I think with the 3D there's still a number of programs like MetaHuman Character Builder digging into the 3D art industry. Exactly, they are digging, but again, not everybody can use them. Especially with the 3D, it takes a guy who understands 3D to use the 3D AI or whatever, everything 3D. It takes a guy who understands the 3D to use it. That's it. Man, I hope the future doesn't become like a Wall-E movie. Or the Terminator movie for that matter. But, let's go to the Artstation tutorials, Reviews. Artstation reviews, come on. we're going there. Now this was, I think, where we were last time. This is Alan Nikolovsky, and he's doing mostly hard surface stuff. This is organic, this is a skull. It's, yeah, he has spent some time, he's made some things, but we cannot say too much about his portfolio because it's just 3D, and yeah, there is not too much to talk about it here. He's a junior 3D artist. When I was a junior 3D artist, as I said, I was having similar things to my portfolio, but it's not enough to hire you probably to at least a middle level company. If it's a low level company, probably this will be enough, but for something better, I don't know. The idea is that it's difficult to find this low level companies and to work for them because, I don't know, it's difficult, I think. Let's see, this is ZBrush 3D Max Substance Painter. Okay, the arms look a little bit short. This arm, for example, looks like it's not too much bent. This one is bent, okay, but this one, it doesn't look too much bent. Probably it is. And it's up to here, it has to be up to this point, around here, so it's short. But other than that, it's fine. If he has made this by himself, which we don't know. Because he's a 3D generalist and generalist, and they usually don't know too much anatomy. But who knows? Yeah, he has made this monster, which looks okay because it's 3D, you know. And let's see, those renders looks nice. The final render is, I don't know, it looks like painting a little bit, like a drawing, which probably is a good thing. But all those things here are some kind of clothes. Yeah, those are for outfits for female avatars. And they're nothing to brag about, in my opinion. That's not something to brag about. Just some simple, you know, pieces of cloth put together with either marvelous designer or whatever. He had used ZBrush 3D Max and Substance 3D Painter, so yeah, but you know, I would. By the way, if, for example, you have this portfolio and you want to do this kind of stuff, you want to be searched to do some clothes for characters, it's okay to leave them, to leave those clothes. Otherwise, if you want to be searched for characters, to make characters, then you have to leave only characters in your portfolio. If you leave things like those clothes, maybe people will search for you like to make clothes for their characters. Now, this is the portfolio that I don't want to see usually. In the matter of, those are folders, and this is artwork, look dev challenges, something. I want to see everything in one place. And for example, those shader and textures, why? I mean, why do you need this folder? Even the thumbnails are not looking good. This is okay. Those are looking like game assets, they're looking fine. Probably if I look for somebody to make some game assets for me, this will be fine. But if only those were on the portfolio, I will be fine. But now these artworks, why? Who will hire you to do those kind of things? I don't know, maybe for some advertisement, but they're not even rendered super nicely. I mean, you see, this is a little bit too dark and groomy, doesn't look quite well. So I would say just leave. Maybe you have more than 50 things here, so leave like 10 or 15 mostly from here, and that's it. That's my advice for this portfolio. Let's go to this guy or a girl, nobody knows. You never know in the internet, you know. You never know if you don't glow. You never shine if you don't glow. Nikolai Gandalf the White today. Yeah, sometimes I'm white, sometimes I'm gray, sometimes I'm whatever. Man, I hope the future doesn't become a... They just away like more. Kinda weird outfits, maybe a sin haram in agree. Okay, the little house, I like it. Okay, So people are commenting sometimes on the Artstation profiles. So here we have a character a little bit too dark in some areas here, and the other parts are a little bit too not so contrasty, flat. We don't have too much contrast on the face. Let's see something else. Okay, there are just two things. This hair is kind of okay, but you see, this is only a high poly, and also it's not the best high poly. The eyes are too big probably and too close to each other. The distance between the eyes is less than one eye, which is strange, but probably this is a monster, so it's okay. But the idea here is that this is not a portfolio that somebody will hire you for to do something, because it doesn't show the ability of doing low poly. Usually, most people are looking for game models to be created, and that's why you need to be able to make a low poly. And showing the ability of making a relatively complicated high poly, then making it into a low poly, and then making UVs, then making some texture in Substance Painter, this is the overall work that a 3D character artist has to be able to do. So yeah, that's my advice. Just try harder. And you know, when you want just to show high polys, it's okay. You can be hired to make 3D figures for printing, for example, but you have to show very good modeling skills, very good anatomy skills, which usually is difficult. Here, for example, we see this knight. He's looking overall good, but doesn't have shadow inside this helm. I don't know why. You know, shadows here are not presented too much. I don't know where the shadows have gone, but it seems like there are no shadows inside. You cannot see this super lit face with this helm on. It's just impossible. And when something is impossible, it's bugging your brain. And when you look at it, you say, something is not right here. Maybe you cannot understand it. Maybe you cannot explain it. But I can sometimes. And I'm explaining it that there is something wrong with this helm. Here, I think in this renders, there is some shadow inside, but not too much. Still, it's a little bit too bright. And the face inside, we cannot see it. Let's see if we can see some face from this guy. No, he just have one artwork. So we cannot judge his anatomy skills, his face anatomy skills from this artwork. We can judge that he is relatively good with, not good, but not bad with some faults. For example, here in the pants, those faults are not looking bad, because in some people they are looking pretty bad. But other than that, the render is not quite good. The knight itself look very realistic in the terms of proportions, because the head is looking very big and the body is looking very small, which is kind of realistic if we think about it. But it doesn't look quite like for a game or something, because for games you want more heroic proportions. So smaller head, bigger body, longer legs. Let's see this. This is from Gruber. Christian. Okay, this is a female character. It's looking very interesting, by the way. The folds are nice. Probably done with Marvelous Designer, yes. And you see how the folds are going when they are well made. Just down. And this is kind of looking pretty cool. The shading, I'm not a fan of. It's okay, it's cell shading or whatever it's called. It's fine, but it doesn't show exactly your ability to sculpt that much or your anatomy abilities. You're a junior artist. Gruber is a junior artist from Germany, which is okay. So he's okay. This is some anatomy. Yeah, we have something to look for. It's not exactly the best. When you are lifting your arm, you know, the pivot of the rotation of the arm doesn't move down, and now it had moved down. So this arm should be around this area here, up here. The shoulder has to be lifted up, and the arm should be overall upward. It doesn't matter. I mean, Those are just kind of, let's say, beginner to advanced works. Maybe, yeah, this looks pretty nice, by the way. Let's see it with Marmoset Viewer. If we can zoom in, it will be very nice. Because I like this lizard. The render itself is not very nice. It doesn't make it look super cool. But it's a cool creature, I would say. With 6 legs. And it looks pretty awesome. So yeah, 3 months ago. This guy has potential, I'm saying. He has to just learn more anatomy. And in no time he can be better than me, I think. But he has to learn a lot more anatomy. And practice more. But this one is looking very nice. The render itself doesn't make it look good. Because it's dark background. And there are some dark portions of this. And when you squeeze your eyes, some of the model is like losing itself in the background, which means it's not good. You have to have contrast between the background and your model, otherwise it's not looking fine. Your model doesn't look good. Let's see, I think we've seen this portfolio before, but those are models that look like for 3D print, mostly. So yes, good. They're not bad, I would say. Even looking pretty nice. Yeah, this one is looking pretty nice. Let's see something else. This one. There is some anatomy here. I would say that the shoulders have to be a little bit longer. But maybe this is from animated movie, I think, from Dragon Ball. So maybe the shoulders of the Dragon Ball characters are shorter in the movie. I don't know. But other than that, it's looking relatively fine. But again, this portfolio is saying I cannot do game models. I can just sculpt digitally. So if you are looking for an artist to do your game models, just look further, not me. This is what I see from this portfolio. Maybe he can do some things for 3D print, yes. But that's it, just collectibles, as it says here. FNS collectibles. And for collectibles, he is making bases, he is just sculpting things. So probably he can do some collectibles, which is great. Let's see this visit site. Alright, let's see what's happening here. Okay, we have all those things here in this portfolio, especially the human figures, the anatomy figures, they are looking like just practices. Some practices that I myself will never put on my portfolio because they are just practices and obviously they are not ultra good. So it's not exactly, in my opinion, good to put them in your portfolio. Of course, if you are a beginner and you don't have any other works, probably it's a good idea to put them in your portfolio. But at some point, you have to just go ahead and delete them when you have become better and made better things. This one, for example, if I was at the beginning of my 3D career back in the 2010, I think, I would consider this a pretty nice sculpt for myself. But now I see a lot of problems in the legs, in the pose itself, in the, overall it's symmetrical, the body, everything is symmetrical, and the body and the head, everything is symmetrical. The pose itself is not ultra good, so it's a fan art, but not done with quite. It's visible that it's the time is not enough for this. You have to put more time into this. You have to make a better pose. You have to color it. You have to render it better. All those things. Otherwise, it's just lazy. And when people see this, they know this is lazy. And they will not even click on one of those thumbnails. So they will not even consider this for a job. This guy. Got it. I don't know what I got, but whatever. For Nico, the best teacher. I don't know what. This is looking pretty good, I would say. I've been learning a lot from Nico YouTube videos. I miss perfecting my anatomy. I'm tired of my level low. You cannot be tired of your level. If you're tired of your level, you have to work just harder, just much harder, many more hours. Put them, those hours, but quality hours. Work with references. Let's see this Deadpool Pikachu or Pikapool. It looks pretty cool. I would say this looks pretty cool. This is one of the best works. And I would remove from this portfolio those just pictures, you know. Those images with 2D images. They don't look quite well. And with the capabilities of the AI right now, those images are just not good, you know. You can do with AI much better things. This is looking good. This is action figure. It has a pretty cool pose. I would say the fingers can be a little bit, you know, since it's a female character, maybe the biceps and the fingers can be dialed down a little bit because it's a female character. But I'm not sure. This is some kind of style probably, so I'm talking out of my ass here probably. This is a game character, I guess, because it has a pose. I think we have seen this, but it has decent folds on his clothes. It's looking decently, so yeah, I would say cool things. But those drawings, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and this one, just don't belong, you know. When you are having a portfolio, just keep it with the best works. And if you want to be a 3D character artist, for example, digital sculptor, just keep it only digital stuff and sculpt stuff, so 3D only. Don't put 2D, just remove the 2Ds and everything should be fine. Arsène Senuk. I think we have seen this, but we'll see. Nico, I posted the first was the latest head sculpt in general on Discord. Can you please tell me if it's a good improvement? Some people told me it's impressive, which boosted my motivation for the roof. So if people told you that, most likely I cannot tell you something different. So most likely it's true. And that's good. When you achieve something which is impressive, so the difference between the first and your last model, or the difference between the models in a couple of months is visible, that you have improved your anatomy skills, then of course your motivation will be higher. But even if you don't have improved that much, because you haven't put that much hours, for example, many people say, I haven't improved quite much in the last 3 months. But how many hours you have put in those 3 months? If you have put for 3 months, let's say 150 hours, it's not enough. For 3 months, let's say you can put, the most you can put is like 10 hours every day. So for 3 months, maybe almost 1,000 hours you can put for 3 months. This is the most you can put. So if you put 500 hours, it should be fine. Less than that, it's not. So yeah, here we see a Batman. Okay, the eyes are a little bit too low. Even if he's doing this, you know, the head down thing, the upper portion of the head is a little bit too huge, for my taste at least. Other than that, yeah, it has some nice things. Let's see this. This is looking good. We have pretty cool hair. The hair is looking... The render, I don't know why this part of the head, this part of the face which is closer to us, is in shadow. I don't agree quite much with this, and it doesn't look quite well. This looks far better, I think. It looks better, definitely. Better. This looks even better. So yeah, we have someone who can do some stuff, but probably is a little bit lazy. Maybe when he does more things and put more time into them, it would be great. Have we seen this portfolio? Probably. But let's see. Nice things overall. From Andrei. From Croatia. Let's see this. Yeah, I think we have seen this portfolio before. But let's see his latest work. At least, probably its latest. Yeah, it's looking sharp. It's looking cool. The render itself is too gray and dark. I would need more light into this character to be more visible, because when I squeeze my eyes now, most of it is lost. Especially the suit, because it's black. But overall, it's looking pretty nice. I mean, the overall shapes and everything is very well made. Andrei is doing pretty well, I would say. Yes, good. He's like me, more into stylized things. Not bad, I would say. This one is looking a little bit more impressive because of those gold shiny details. But yeah, nice. We are looking through a lot of Artstation portfolios, and we lost that. Where is it? It was this? Yes. Let's see some questions from the chat. Nico, if we sculpt characters for games, should we make it from T-pose or no? Always. But not T-pose. These days we are making A-pose mostly. T-pose is when your arms are completely on one horizontal line, like this. This is a T-pose. A-pose is when your arms are more down, because it's more natural. And yeah, for animation, when you're making a character, you have to know this character, what animations he will have. And usually when you make a normal character, his animations will require him to hold a gun like this, for example, or to hold a sword like this. So his arms in 99% of the time will be down. So it's better to make them down also, not to make them up like this or T-pose. A-pose is the best. If I'm a concept artist but like to sculpt sometimes and have really nice sculpts coming out, do you think it will be alright to put them into a portfolio? I'm not sure, because you are giving mixed signals with this. You are a concept artist and suddenly you have some sculpts. If you have sculpts which you have highly mostly went then into Photoshop and draw over them and made them like nice illustrations or nice concepts, then it's fine. But if it's only sculpt and then render and then put into a portfolio, I'm not sure. But this is, I like this sword very much. I don't know why, but this sword looks very nice. It's a good game asset. There is a normal albedo curve map. All the things are here. It looks like it's relatively nice amounts of polygons, and it looks pretty cool. The avatar, I don't approve of this guy, but my avatar also is not the best with this smiling guy. And this I don't like. This jeep is not good. Let's see this character. Yeah, this is just a character, but not too good. There is not too much anatomy in it, but the sword is impressive. And by the way, interestingly enough, the sword is the best thing in the whole portfolio. Yeah, I would even go as far as remove everything else but the sword from the portfolio, and from now on do only things that are better or at least as good as the sword for the portfolio. And this will be the best for this portfolio. Not to leave all things inside the portfolio, just, clean your portfolios. This is the most, the thing that I see the most is a lot of crap in the portfolio which don't belong there. So we see this from one of my courses, which I made for myself. This was for myself, and it's pretty well made. I think everything is here, even this thing. So the guy has looked at the course, he has looked closely, he has made the course. Yeah, a little bit of the pose of the character is not quite action pose like it's supposed to be, but we cannot expect everyone to be able to do it. It's difficult, especially the pose is difficult, especially for young artists. This guy looks pretty young. If we're judging by the photo, he's between 19 and 25-year-old. So for this age, I think he's pretty good. When we can say the age of the guy, it's much better to judge his art. For example, this looks pretty cool. for the age. But of course, people are not, when you are looking for a job, they will not ask you how old are you that much. They'll just look what kind of work you can do. This is looking relatively fine. Let's see this. And this is not ultra bad. Of course, the anatomy can be better. But there are a lot of things. Let's see. Oh, the concept is not bad at all. The concept is not bad at all. And I probably can do a pretty good job on this concept. And this arm, the anatomy of in the concept is bad also. I would do it better in my opinion, but it's doesn't matter. It's fine. You have to choose good concepts for yourselves. This is a very nice thing, very nice model, but the render itself is not super cool. I mean, we need more contrast on the body, a little bit better to see the forms, and when you squeeze your eyes again, the model is kind of lost in the background. The background has to be either darker and the model lighter, or the background has to be lighter and the model has to be more contrasty, and those things will improve the model. But yeah, good job. We have the Rocknick. I don't know what is this. This is let's celebrate their first super on a live stream. What is this? Somebody can tell me what is this super? Sec 10. If somebody can explain what is this. Yeah. Thanks for your videos. My anatomy has gotten better since I found the channel last month. Ooh, since last month. Very good, very good. Are Xingming Zhong characters similar because her style, or does she have syndrome of characters with the same face? I don't know. I don't know. Where should I post my portfolio in order to get a feedback? As you can see, I have a Discord server, and in my Discord server I have a Artstation portfolios channel. In this channel you should post your portfolios. I have to start doing more reviews, and now I am doing many reviews, but as I see how many portfolios are below, yeah, we have a lot of them to come, but some are repeating, so it's fine. They gave it to you for pizza with pineapples. What the fuck? Someone gave you money for the first time via the stream. Ah, for the first time via the stream. Maybe for this stream is for the first time, because last stream I think somebody gave me 10 pounds, or the stream before that. I'm not sure anymore. I'm doing so many streams these days. I don't know what it is. But yeah, yesterday we have done a stream. Now we're doing a stream again. So extremely streamy these days. Yes? Yes. Okay. Could you link our Discord, please? I think it's linked in the description of this video. Yeah, let me see. Donation link we have Discord link. Yes. If the Discord link is working, so it's fine. But we have also donation link for PayPal. I don't advise you to use it, but if you want, it's okay. But the best way to donate to me, if you want to donate, the best way is to just go ahead into Artstation, go to my store page, and just buy some of my courses. It's super easy and also can be useful, especially the courses for anatomy that I have. They can be useful for everybody, not only 3D artists, but also concept artists, because they are anatomy. They are not 3D courses. They are anatomy courses, and I just happen to do them in 3D. Okay. Oh, I think we have seen this portfolio and we know that it's pretty good. Especially we like this character. It's pretty detailed. It's a nice render. I think it's low poly even. Yes. So I don't have what to say. This guy, obviously, judging by only this character alone, he's pretty good. I would remove, of course, some of those old works, especially those dragons, those two dragons, because this character has to be the centerpiece of the portfolio, in my opinion. It's just showing the skill of creating a game character with textures, with low poly, with baking, with everything. And this is what people want, and this is what will sell this portfolio. Let's see this skull. Not bad skull. The render is a little bit dark, but it's overall not bad. This is anatomy study skull. I'm not sure this is very good for the portfolio itself, but everybody can decide for themselves. In my opinion, not so much. Not so much. Is 12 hours a day of sculpting too much or a good amount to get better faster? It's good amount to get better faster, but not many people can achieve it. 12 hours a day is a huge amount of time, and most people cannot afford to spend that time. I would say waste. It's not waste. To spend that amount of time. It's just many people have other jobs. Many people have families. If you are young and you have this time, it's very good for you. And if you can't spend it sculpting and refining your skills, but beware, don't just sculpt, because it will be always, your first thought will be just to start sculpting without looking at any references. Looking at references is hard, because you have to first find references. Okay, let's say you found some references, you have some anatomy references in your PureF file. And then you have to look at those references constantly. You have to learn to look at your references almost the same amount of time to spend looking at the reference as looking at the model, which is difficult. Not many people are doing it. Most people are looking at their model and spending much more time sculpting than looking at the reference, and at the end, the reference is nothing like their sculpt. And they don't learn too much. Why? Because researching the reference, either it's a picture of a bodybuilder, or it's a very nice concept, or it's an anatomy reference from anatomy book. Doesn't matter. Searching for the forms, understanding the shapes, the distances and everything, it's vital to your, growing up as an artist, as a 3D artist. This shield, I'm spending a little bit time on this shield because it looks interesting. But this guy is saying exploring the 3D world. Obviously he's, judging by the photo, he's around 16 to 20 years old. So for this, if I was able to do these things on that age, before 20, I would be crapping myself from joy. But I couldn't. I couldn't do it. Let's see. But these days we have all the tools, and this is pretty good, by the way, as anatomy. This is completely made in ZBrush, probably from Sphere, and it's not looking ultra bad. So yeah, this guy, he's young, he will continue to develop this himself, unless he's like 40 and he just put his picture from the younger years, or he's very young looking also. As a beginner, do you think it's okay to use skeleton to sculpt on top of, or practice from just a sphere while still in the learning phase? It's always useful to use a skeleton to sculpt on top of sometimes. This is a good exercise in my opinion. And I'm doing this in my Superhuman Anatomy course. You can find it in the description. And in the Superhuman Anatomy course, I'm sculpting over a skeleton. And if you have a good skeleton, which is with right proportions, then overall your sculpt should look good. And sculpting over a skeleton will help you understand, and you have to use also anatomy references to understand where the bones are inside the body. And when you understand that, it will be easier for you, and then you will get more knowledge and you will get better. The idea here is that getting better is a process that requires constant practice. For example, you practice with the skeleton and you understand it, and then 2 months you just don't practice too much and you will forget everything. So that's what I'm saying. Practicing now will not immediately make you a better artist, but practicing always will definitely make you. I don't know what to say about this guy. He's just good enough. It's seen from the thumbnails. You can see all the thumbnails are looking relatively the same quality. Everything is looking kind of cool, nice. there is no thumbnail which is looking different from the others, like something completely different, something else, like a 2D illustration or whatever. Everything is like 3D. Everything is mostly sculpting, probably for figurines or for 3D prints, and that's what I'm seeing from this portfolio. Have you totally gave up on ZBrush, sir? Yes. For now, I totally gave up on ZBrush. I was having ZBrush. I still have it on my toolbar here, but I will just unpin it because I don't use it. Why should I keep it there? I shouldn't keep on my lower toolbar things that I don't use. So I just removed it from my toolbar. But I haven't started ZBrush since maybe a month ago or 2 months ago, when I had to do some unwrapping, and it was for organic models, so unwrapping in ZBrush is a little bit better sometimes. But this portfolio, I don't know what to say. It's good enough for me. I think this guy is pretty good. Yeah. Of course, there always can be, improvements. We always can improve, but this guy is good enough. So yeah, it's 3D print guy. He's not doing game models, as I can see. So nobody will say, can you do game models for me? Because there is no game models here in the portfolio. But for 3D prints, it's cool. Okay, what is this? Cortana 3D model for collectibles. This looks pretty cool. Although, this has too realistic proportions, in my opinion. Sometimes, yeah, maybe some people will say, but how it's too realistic? Yeah, it's too realistic because it's not a little bit heroic. It's not a little bit, but that's up to the client, to say. It's looking pretty cool, so it's fine. We cannot say more about punk arts. It's very good, so yeah. Let's see this. Shofan Shaki, looking for opportunities. Yeah, we have to be careful with these thick fingers. I mean, they're pretty thick. It's fine, it's a character. But obviously this guy's like kind of a young artist, probably. Hopefully he's a young artist. This looks not bad. Not bad. The legs, pretty good. And I like how the S is visible here. This is pretty good anatomy. The arms, especially the lower arm here, it's a little bit off. But other than that, it's the hand is looking relatively fine. Sculpt and UV in ZBrush. Looking good. Looking good. So what I would do for this portfolio, remove just this, for example, and the shark, because this is awful. And the shark also is completely awful. This one is also probably should be removed. It doesn't look very nice. And I would remove everything except for this guy and continue to make things better than this guy. Because this is kinda better than the other works, but not quite in a super good level. Because you see, when you are making things for your portfolio, just posting things with a random background in the in APOS is not gonna cut it. Just make a nice pose for your character, present it better, spend like, let's say 5 or 6 more hours on the character, and everything will be improved, like immensely improved. But most people are like, I'm sick of this character, I don't want to do this anymore, I will just make a quick render and post it, and we'll see, maybe people will appreciate me. Usually that's not the case. People are looking and say, okay, this is a lazy job of rendering, it's not good. This is not super bad, but I see some strange blurring here and there, too much. Ooh, this is like animation. Oh, facial animation he has even. Wow, pretty cool. I would say a little bit too much ambient occlusion on the crevices on the face. It's a bit too much, but probably this could be a style of animation, style of stylization. Let's see this. Yeah, this guy loves the blurring effect of the render. You know, he always uses it. And it looks a little bit more alive with this effect, I admit it. So yeah, this is cool. This is cool. But from this portfolio, we'll see. I would leave this, and this. All the other things removed. So only this guy, this guy, this guy, and Hulk Hogan. And for me, that's it. The other ones immediately just to go down. What do we see here? We see guns, we see a grenade, and we see a character. Shinobi character. Too much blood on him. So when you're making a character, you have spent the time to sculpt, you have spent the time to detail, and then you put this kind of a ultra bloody texture on top. It's, I don't know. And this is the first render that we see. And it doesn't have too much, it doesn't have shadow, it doesn't have any ambient occlusion, it's ultra flat. When I squeeze my eyes, I don't see almost any features on the face because there is no shadow, there are no... Also the eyes and the eyeballs. I always say the eyeballs have to be smaller. In this case, I say they have to be bigger. There is no person like this. You know, if the eyeballs are this small and the eyes are this small, then his head should be twice the normal size. Because the eyes, usually, people's eyes are the eyeballs. They are relatively the same, person to person. So, yeah, it's a problem with those eyes. But overall, if this is a low poly character, I would say some of the things are not bad at all. Fingers, bad. Face, relatively bad. Those wraps around here, which are not even close to the body, relatively bad. I mean, yeah, they have to be more wrapped because it's a rope which is tightened. When it's tightened, it has to push inside the other clothes. It doesn't have to stay outside the other clothes. It's just not natural. So those things are differentiating what's what. But I like the skirt, this skirt and this underlining clothes. They look pretty awesome. So there are very nice things, but there are also pretty bad things. It's interesting. I don't know why. This guy's probably, this is maybe his first character. When he makes other characters, he will become better and better, I think, with my feedback. Can you sculpt the Smurf cat? I can sculpt everything, as you can see, you know. I'm now learning superhuman anatomy, but I see you live and now I'm procrastinating. So my lives are making people procrastinate. Okay, good, good. Can you please look at my whip on Discord? Okay, wait, let's see, whip. Let's see where we are. On 16th of September. General, okay, show off. Show off, okay. There's nothing to show off here too much. This looks fine. Looks nice. Let's see it. Ooh. That's a complex character. There are a lot of skulls on his belly. And he has a skull of a head. This throne is pretty nice. I like it, I like it. I like it. Let's see whips. This is fan art. Okay, good. Some kind of a Triton character. This is some kind of a character without eyes. Maybe he has something like... But eyeballs will be necessary for this type of character probably. Practicing the head. Good, good. A little bit more digging here in this area would be nice. And around the neck, this muscle here, my favorite muscle of the human body is this muscle of the neck, the sternocleidomastoid, and it's called sternocleidomastoid for a reason. It's connected to the sternum, which you connected it to the mastoid process behind the ear here, it's connected, and also to the clavicle, and you haven't connected it to the clavicle. So this muscle is now connected only to the sternum. and probably to the back of the head where it has to be connected, but not to the clavicle. And there is no clavicle, by the way, and there is space for a clavicle, so yeah. Ooh, this is a nice wolf. Let's see. Nice wolf. I like how he's like eating. It's very cool. But this guy, Sakupatu Banana, I think is him. Not sure. Sakupatu Avocado. This is the character from the course. Okay. This is a whip. This looks like me. So probably from one of my courses. This is a whip. Everybody is making whips. This whip, I think this has to have a little bit wider head above the ear. This portion of the head a little bit wider. And also from here, the head shouldn't look like a balloon. There should be straight lines. Just make it more from straight lines. Use references from the side view. Just find bald head female from a side view, and you, because I assume this is a female. Let's continue with Artstation portfolios, and we have to go down, down, down to the new down. Okay, Javier Ruiz. What does Javier does? Hey Nico, is the interview with the guy that painted your 3D prints still happening? The Lobo prints look amazing. Yes, I have to write to him, by the way, and to see how the things are going, because I haven't heard from him in a month at least, and he's doing the last my last course, which I did the armored girl, and he's printing and coloring her, but I haven't seen a progress photo or whatever, so we'll see what happens there. This is not a bad sculpt, I would say, but the render is not good. We don't see too much, we don't have a rim light, we don't have a nice render overall. It's just something like a print screen with just default lighting. Let's go. It can be better. This one is a little bit better because it's more contrasty compared to the background. This one, not so much. So yeah, work on your presentation skills more. This looks kind of very interesting, I would say. It's very artistic. This is like a balloon, and it's pretty. I have pretty good feelings about this. I don't know why, but I feel good. So this guy has a lot of potential, but he has to try a little bit harder, because just presenting your work like this, it's not gonna cut it. You know, even my work now, which I haven't presented too much, it's just like placed like this, it's better looking than this, you know. And I will never put something like this in my portfolio, because it's not serious, you know. To put something like this made for like in my case like 40 minutes, but even if you made it for 3 hours or 5 hours, if it looks like this, with, you know, all those things like very mushy and everything like that, not good. This I'm not saying this is looking mushy or whatever. This looks like he has put time on even on the clothes here, it looks like. But the render itself, it's too dark and gloomy, and it doesn't look well. So work on the renders more. Yes. Nico, can you give feedback on show off post with Flower Girl? I just was there, but I haven't seen that Flower Girl. So this, again, too dark. Many things are too dark. Even I see one of my older renders, older works, they are a little bit too dark for my taste now. So this one looks a little bit better, but still these clothes underneath, they look almost completely black, which is never a good thing. Other than that, it looks kind of okay, but this darkness is not exactly good. Mark and read here. Okay, we will be here, and we go to whips or general. This is interesting. Show off Flower Girl. There is no Flower Girl. Maybe we have to go up. Ah, this is the Flower Girl. Wow. Is this the flower girl? I don't know what to give feedback. This looks amazing. At least from first glance. Yes. Yes. Very good. Very, very good. Definitely worth the reactions here, you know. Very nice. But is it you, the monitoring? Or I don't know. Because I'm Xenia, 190 centimeters, 80 kilos, 23 centimeters. 23 centimeters the biceps? Or what? You know? Maybe some people will say, no, his junk is 23 centimeters. Yeah, probably not. Definitely not, you know. 23 centimeters, it's... maybe there are like 1,000 people in the world that have 23 centimeters penises. So, yeah. Just advertisements, you know. In advertisement, everybody is lying. Hey, Nico, thank you for interesting streams. I have a question. Is it necessary to do character poses for portfolios? It's good to have it if your focus are game characters, since most of the time rigging is done by other people. Yeah, but you see, you are making a game character. You are making it in T-pose. You are giving it for rigging. You are getting your money. If it's a freelance. Or if you're working for a company, you are making the game model as an A-pose. You're giving it for rigging. But when you're putting it in your portfolio, why don't you just basically rig it? It's not super hard to rig in Blender, especially. It will be done in like 10 to 15 minutes. It depends on the character. If it has clothes or stuff, it will be much more complicated if something has to flow. But if it's a normal character with no too much things that flow around, it's not super difficult to just make a simple pose, even without rigging the character, even with moving with mask and then just fixing some things in sculpt mode on the low poly, even. Because when you make from this pose of the hand, usually they start to get a little bit, you know, too smooth, and you have to go and fix some things. So it's better for you to make a pose for your characters, show them with wireframe, and yeah. In this portfolio, as I see it, I think this is the best work, Lady Young, and the other things I don't like that much. I'm sorry, but this one is the better one. I don't know how it has been done because the body looks relatively good, but this, for example, doesn't look that good. You know, this looks like I made it for a couple of minutes. The hair, and it's not gonna cut it. I mean, this doesn't look good in a portfolio. Something like this. So remove some of those things which are more naive looking, like this guy, Sagat, or what, Sagat, yeah. This guy also, those also are not good. This guy, the cowboy, is not good. There are a lot of things that can be removed from here, I would say. Hello, Nico. How do you make a model for stylized game like Team Fortress 2? You just sculpt it, then remesh it, then UV map it, and then bake it. And that's it, usually. There's nothing too different about it. I think this is just a model, you know. You just have to go through the concept. Let's see this guy. Okay, this is ultra low poly model, as I can see it, with some texture. It's ultra low, so I don't know why you need this low. When I was starting working in this industry, I was doing models like this with around 1,000 triangles. 1,000 triangles for mobile games, it was fine. This one is, I don't know, it's just, you know, you take the concept and you put it as a texture, and draw a little bit over it, and it's done. It doesn't show too much of a character skill, we may say. And let's see this. This is more anatomical, hopefully. Yes, this looks better. Around the eyes there can be better things, but yeah, when you put, and it's ZBrush is very easy to put real texture on top of your model, then you think you have done a great job, but it's not exactly like that, you know. It's not exactly great. So be careful with the real texture on your models. It makes them look better than they really are. And you may start to think a little bit wrong about yourself. Also, from this portfolio, if I want to be a character artist, I would remove some things. But if I want to be a generalist artist, I probably would leave some things, but I would choose wisely what to leave. For example, this super dark thumbnail here, it's not looking good. This one also, I would never click on it because there is nothing to look at it there. This one with these vases, never will click on it because there is nothing to see, you know, to make it worth my time clicking on it. So be careful with those kind of things. Your video about sculpting over skull just blew my mind in terms of sculpting method. I mean, it's super useful to sculpt full figure over skeleton. I have your superhero course as well. Exactly. But this particular video was like light in my head. Yeah, it's a super nice exercise. That's why I did it. And also I did it because I was practicing for my anatomy classes that I'm teaching. I'm not studying anatomy. I'm studying anatomy still, but I'm teaching anatomy in the academy here in Bulgaria. So for those anatomy classes, I was practicing head over skull, and I decided to just do a video about it. And I may do another video at some point again because it's fun, it's useful, it's a very nice practice. So yeah, we have seen this portfolio before, just a few seconds ago, may say. This one we haven't seen. Adam Sotny from United Kingdom. Let's see this. Okay, I think we have seen this somehow, I don't know. But it's not the best anatomy, I would say. This looks like some kind of ancient sculpture, a little bit. So it's not bad, but it's, oh, again, this folder things. This I would remove immediately because it's looking very uncanny. I don't know. It shouldn't be that bad, but I mean, yeah, the concept is nice, but this looks like some kind of animalistic thing with all those skins and imperfections on the skin. Too much, a little bit too much. But other than that, let's see this carnage. Yeah, sometimes people don't pay attention too much to the underlying forms and start making too much detail on top. And I don't understand why, because I have never wanted to do that. This doesn't look quite bad, by the way. The render itself looks a little bit bad because it's reddish light. The background is also reddish. Everything is reddish and all the thing looks like, what is this? There is not too much shadow and, you know, overall. But the model is not ultra bad, so yeah. The idea is that this detailings, I don't understand detailing. I'm mostly for the main forms. To everything to look okay, even for a couple of hours of work. And then detailing, it's easy, it's just time consuming. Thank you for the review. No problem, it's fine. You have to just, you know, yeah. This Tinkerbell is scary. It's the eyes are looking okay, but this thing between the eyes here, you have to push a little bit more, and then your focal length looks a little bit too much, so too much perspective. The nose is not okay, and when I look at the thumbnail, I think this is some kind of a human between human and a sheep or something like this. It looks like, so it's yeah, you have to be careful. But the other girl, the red girl, was looking fine. Just a nicer render would be more appropriate. Let's see this guy, Utkarsh from Mumbai, India. This doesn't look super bad, I would say. It looks like clean models, clean geometry. Is this the model again? Yes, it is. With a different focal length, which is looking pretty nice. This one, yes. So this one is nicer. This is almost without perspective, but it still doesn't look very bad. I'm impressed by this model. The other ones, this I would remove immediately. The octopus also. Let's see those. Those guys with better renders, better presentation would look pretty nice. This is looking far better than this. This doesn't look good. I would usually not click on this image, but since I'm reviewing the portfolio, it's fine. So this one I don't like completely, the red one. I like the blue one. I kinda am okay with the green one. It could be better. This one I also don't like, the horny one. Let's see the dragon. Oh, this is a boat. Okay, good. So with a better render, this turntable is looking very nice. With a better render, this will be amazing. So the problem here is not that much the modeling. The modeling skills are okay, but the render skills are a little bit off. So better renders, better presentation of the models. I'm saying that, but it's difficult. Even for me, it's not super easy, but you have to just try harder. Because it's important. It's not important only to make good models, to make good shapes. This is important, but also presentation. For example, this skull, which is laying down like this, it's not looking quite nicely. I mean, the presentation, not good. This, I wouldn't even click on this. This just has to be gone. And also the octopus, also this. So just remove most of the things and it's gonna be awesome. Do you think a character with a good overall forms with low detailing sells more than a very detailed but not so good on overall? It depends. It depends who is looking for what. But overall, I've seen characters that look like shit, but with very nice render and textures, and at first glance, you can say they are looking okay. But when you kind of look a little bit, the anatomy is off. And when the anatomy is off, everything else, whatever you do, it's a shit sprinkled with sugar. It's not very, very cool. So if you make, very good models, but you just make a screenshot and put them in your Artstation, it's not good. If you make very bad models, but you make amazing renders of them with very nice materials, it's also not good. So you have to do both things. Nice models with nice renders. For example, this, I've seen the thumbnails here, and all of them are kind of flat. They're not good. The best probably of all of them maybe is this one, but still, yeah, this one, but still it doesn't look quite well. The skin is only one color. It looks like plastic, even worse than plastic. So it's not very nice. And the render overall is just flat. If it was this, only this render, I would say amazing. It's very nice, because this render, this black and white render, which can be a 3D print, I'm not sure, or just a render, I'm not sure, but if it's a render, it's a very nice render. If it's a 3D print, it's a good 3D print, so it's fine. But this is a render, it's not good. The 3D print is great. So, yeah, sometimes, because the 3D print, when you photograph it, it has just super realistic render because it's real. And then your presentation is usually very good. Do you think? Yes, I think. So, yeah, better renders on all of these things and better modeling also. Better modeling and better rendering always will give you better results. I know, it's not logical, but it's like this. We have seen this portfolio, I'm pretty sure, with those interesting backgrounds here. So, okay. And we will end here. Let me just mark and read, so I will get through here every time I go back like this. Yes, we'll be here, and we will end this program now because I need to rest, and this is almost 2 hours, so goodbye, see you. And from White Nico, I wish you a Merry Christmas. No, today is Halloween, so I wish you a good Halloween.